This is the second video related to the Cubism inspired portrait. So we're going to get going right away here. When I left off last time, I placed the two images in here in this file, and if we turn that off, we can basically see the effect of that this mask layer has on the frontal view, where it's masking out hiding the view or the rest of the profile. So I think with this, I still want to do a little bit of resizing here. So I'm going to actually use the free transform tool. And if I go up to edit and down to free transform, basically you have the free transform and the transform tools. The transform tools, if you select one of these individual tools, it only allows you to do one thing, that specific thing that is identified. If you go with the free transform tool, it allows you to do pretty much almost all of those. So this is akin to or similar to the selection tool in Illustrator. So I have the bounding box active. I just want to resize this just a little bit more, I think. I'm going to hold the shift key and just kind of bring this down a little bit smaller, and then we'll kind of reposition that. That's looking better. I think we'll go right with that. And then when you're finished with the transform or the free transform tool, you just want to hit enter. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to turn off this layer for a moment, and I want to mask out the background on this layer. So last time I used the quick select or the magic wand tool. I think I'm just going to use a quick selection tool this time. That'll allow me to make pretty quick work of this. And I don't really need to worry about any of this other stuff over here. That's, as you recall, it's going to be masked out when I turn on the visibility of this layer above it. So I'm going to go to the select and mask button. It may also show up as refine edge. So you want to click on that. And I just want to smooth this a little bit. That's pretty much all I really need to do is just to smooth out that edge. And we'll go down to the output to new layer with layer mask and click OK. And right now it masked out everything but the background. The face is gone. So I'm going to click on the mask. It's actually highlighted right now. I'm going to invert that mask by pressing Control I. There we go. And if we turn on the top layer, you can see, all right, so we have the frontal view kind of being shown with the profile at the same time. Now, I want to hide some of what's going on here with the jacket and the shirt. So while I'm on the mask, I'm going to switch to my brush tool, and I'm going to paint with black. And I want to check my opacity here. I'm actually going to bring that back up to 100. And my brush size is at 39, and it's a soft brush. So I think I'm going to keep the brush at that size and that hardness setting. And again, I'm on the mask. You can tell it's got that little bit of a highlight around it. And I'm just going to start brushing out some of the parts that I don't want in this image. So we'll kind of get a little closer here. And brush out this area real quick. And I don't even really need to worry about getting all of this. I don't really need to worry about the part of the jacket that's over here, because again, it's going to be hidden by that mask above it, on the layer above it. And I'd accidentally brushed over top of this with that brush tool earlier, so I'm gonna just toggle my foreground and background color. So I'm using white. I'm going to bring some of this back. All right, and what I want to do at this point, I want to kind of see what's going to happen when I get that background layer visible. So I kind of see that, and I can kind of tell, hey, I don't really like what's going on here, so I'm going to mask out some of this area. So you want to go with black. So I'm just going to press the X key to toggle the foreground color back to black. I'm going to just start brushing out some of this area here. hide some of that. And I'll show in a few moments how to kind of blend this and make it a little bit more of a smoother transition. So I press the X key to toggle back to white. I'm going to go over some of this area right here. And just going to have to kind of go back between black and white here, painting on the mask to kind of alternate hiding some of this. And this is going to vary. How much you do of this is going to vary depending on your particular image. All right, so that's looking pretty good for now. I'm going to make a copy of that layer. And what I want to do now is turn off some of my other layers here. So actually, we'll keep that one on. And let's just make sure I have a copy. Yes, I have a copy of this layer as well. So I just have those layers on, and what I want to do now is merge these layers so I can do a little more work painting over these kind of problem areas where I have that transition from one image to the other. So I'm going to come up to Layer, and I'm going to come down to Merge Visible. I could flatten the image, but that will flatten all my layers, and I don't want to do that. I just want to merge the images or the layers that I have that are visible. So I'm going to click Merge Visible, and as you see, what that does, it condenses all those images into one single layer. All right, from here, I'm going to get into some more of the blend tools and or some ways to blend this with a variety of tools. And I think I'll do that in the next video. But overall, we're in pretty good shape here as far as making progress with those two combined poses or views of the self-portrait.